Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here on July 10th for what could be the last session for this radio. I think it's ready to go now for its final alignment run. I have it operating here. It should be warmed up pretty good. Let's put it on full power. Oh, we do a number of experiments here while we're doing this. So I'm going to show you the scope that you can see operating there with the camera in front of it. There we are. That's the IF, the intermediate frequency stages output, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the input voltage to the radio, the supply voltage. It's at 89 volts, 90 volts right now. So what happens to the IF if you plug the radio in properly? Here we go. Not much of anything happened at all. Certainly the frequency hasn't changed. And what frequency is that? Well, that's the challenge now. I have to figure out what that frequency is. And to do that, I'm going to use this signal generator. I'm going to supply another signal to the radio. Actually, we're going to supply it to the scope. Really. So we're going to ground this. And I think I want to put let's just see what happens here. Yeah. Okay, watch. You saw what I'm doing? I'm just basically connecting my oscilloscope. Connecting a second signal generator to the point at which I'm monitoring both the AVC voltage, which is on this meter you can't see, and up on the scope. Now, I send the signal in from a low impedance device. What do we got? Whoops, we gotta change cameras here. That's what we gotta do. Uh-oh. Who's here crying at me? Here we go. Connect the signal generator and disconnect it. Connect it and disconnect it. So we can see something going on there. This is the voltmeter being connected and reconnected. Nothing really happening there of any significance. So I think if I connect the signal generator, just hang on, Peanut. I connect the signal generator with a small capacitor, that might be enough. So I'm digging one out here. Here's one here. Okay, what happens if I do this? Can't really see anything. Well, the line's getting fatter. That could be because of the frequency I'm on here. So we're going down to 470. What that jumping is, I don't know. That right there, what that is. I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just swinging back and forth past 470 here. That jump, that's my hand touching the speaker frame by accident. Okay, Peanut, I gotta do a few things. I had my finger on something over here I shouldn't have had it on. Okay, we're gonna stop and I'm gonna go and make my cat happy here. Okay, let's carry on. It was one cat out, one cat in. The black cat shadows come in from outside. Now, what we want to do is pass the IF frequency, the marker, through the frequencies of interest, and watch what happens on the oscilloscope here. There we go. Okay, don't see a thing. Let's give it a little more. Oomph. Oh, now we see something. Okay, so if you look right in here, you can see something going to the right, to the left. Can you see it right in there? It's tricky to see. Maybe I can just do this a little more neatly here. watching it come down from the top. There, it's right in here now. There we are. See how this is jumping here? I know the image is really difficult on the camera here. Let me make it almost invisible to my eye. Just adjusting the scope brightness. That's a little, well, I'm not going to get it here. What are you doing in here now complaining? Oh my gosh, it's not one cat. It's the other cat. What? What do you want? Yeah, I don't understand the eye thing. It doesn't work for me. Show me what you want. Look. Oh. He just came in though. I can't keep up with these cats. You know, the darn things have minds of their own. I will ignore her. We'll see how far I can get with ignoring her. Okay, so I would say that this is probably set exactly to the IF frequency. And you can see it says 469 here. On my system, you can add 1 to that and get 470. It's dead on 470. Shape is right. Everything's good. Now, next experiment. Oh, I'm going to have some trouble with this experiment. Let's put the bottom plate on and see what happens to the tuning as I do it. So here's the bottom plate. And I got all these wires hanging out here. What we can do is we can move this to a different location. Down here. It's pretty silly what I did down here. There we go. Now we can't clip there. We have to clip it up here. Somewhere I can set the that's better. Okay. I still have this yellow wire sticking out, but it's kind of there. Kind of there. No other way to get that wire through? There is another way. There is another way. Okay, let's try the other way. We'll come up through here. And then go to this. So this point I'm clipping to is the input to the volume control, and I'm clipping ahead of a capacitor that's right here, that yellow capacitor, so I can pick up a DC voltage at that point. There we go. Okay, now we gotta watch what happens. Does this shift at all? I can't imagine how it could possibly shift because the coils are up on top. So I mean, this just can't be doing it. I got all these screws in here. Shoot. Yeah, I try to think of a few things I can do before turning on the cameras. I watch lots of videos, I'm sure you do too, where people are clipping out the micro hesitations in their voices. They just hesitate briefly, like I'm doing just there, and they'll cut that out of the video. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of editing. I'm too busy trying to fix the radio to fool around with videos. Okay, here we go. Can this have any effect? I just can't imagine it. So I want to watch the oscilloscope as I sort of slam this up here. And there isn't going to be a change. Now, these coils could be affected, but they're not what we're looking at right now. Okay, so IF tuning passed the test. That's done for good. Now the next thing is to go through and redo the alignment of these guys here, but this time do it through the panel, and also set things up so we can see if in fact putting the bottom on is causing a drift in the radio. I'm always curious about those things. I think it all looks good. Just looking it over here a little bit. So we can continue to watch the output of the IF, but the signal input to the radio has got to be done differently. So right now I have a sweep input coming from the sweep generator here, this guy here, and I've got it going into the first amplifier tube here. This is actually the mixer tube. You know what, I can't remember now if it's a mixer. Yeah, this is a mixer tube also. And I've just got this coil just wrapped around the tube a little bit, close enough that I'm able to inject the signal and not disturb the radio. Pretty sure that's a really good way to inject a signal and not disturb things too much. But that's not the right place anymore. I want to inject the signal into the antenna. So I must take that off. I must take that off of there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the coil sitting there. Because I don't think it has any effect. And I'm going to connect this now to the antenna. I'm going to do it underneath here temporarily just to see if anything weird happens. Okay, so that's the IF frequency. Connect it again. Curious, why couldn't we hear that? Why couldn't we hear that sound before? Now look at the output on the scope. It's gone sky high. So am I slamming this with a lot of power? Could be. Put this down a little bit here. Interesting. At the same point, because that is still the IF frequency. Now we're going to start scanning through the broadcast band. I have to stop. I have to set this guy up. Let's move my flags here a little bit. I have to set this accordingly. But that's a nice curve on the IF, don't you think? I think so. Okay, I'm going to stop and rejig things here. Maybe I should give you a moment to look at the screen there and what is going on. So stuff up here doesn't matter right now. So obviously this is the radio down here. And you can see I've got a camera on the pointer here, so you can see exactly where the pointer is aimed. I've got my SDR running. The SDR pickup loop is currently still using the same loop wrapped around the first tube. Just a clip lead wrapped around it a few times. And this is what we've got. Okay, great big local oscillator on the SDR. So we can see the radio is tuned right on 18 megahertz. And that means the local oscillator should be at 18,470. So if I put the red line at 470, this is where it really should be. It's way off. We're going to put it on exactly 470. It should be sitting here. So we're going to get it there. We're going to get it there by adjusting this control here. Before I do too much, I want to do a plate experiment with the bottom plate. How much difference does this make? Now I got a bit of a problem. I've got this sitting right here like this. So this isn't really the best test. Okay, no, it's not the best test, but we'll do it anyway. So does this cause the local oscillator to move? And what we would see is wiggling. And do you see wiggling? I see some wiggling. Looks like it's getting stronger and weaker. That could, well, I don't know. My pickup coil's up above. So you can see that this line over here, where the line that's under my finger there is moving. What is that? I don't even know what that is. So the local oscillator is definitely drifting. Quite a bit too. So we do need to have this bottom plate on to do this properly. I think that's the case. So we can move this connection here easy enough. I'll move it to the outside. I don't know how many radios I've done where I've forgotten the bottom plate until the very last minute, including a nice radio and a beautiful cabinet behind me. I forgot to put the plate on. Am I the only one who forgets that? I bet you I'm not. So, I'm going to tighten this guy down a little bit. Try anyway. Stable. Ooh, this is floating around here. Oh, yikes. Okay, we'll put this on the outside somewhere. There we are. Okay, now I'm able to screw up the plate. And from there, we'll access these through the holes. I need to put some of those screws on. Hey, what do I do with all those screws? There they are. Hey, that kind of ruins the view. That does ruin the view. Oh, so I should have marked the location of the local oscillator before I started this, but we know what you have to. Hang on. Screw is not agreeable. Okay, that's the bottom plate on. Okay, now we're ready. Move that local oscillator. So, oscillator antenna, broadcast. High band we're on right now, oscillator here. Just look in there before I stick a screwdriver in. Oh no, here comes the cat again. A little off center. Okay. Moving the local oscillator. Here we go. What does this cat want? I let her go outside, she came right back in. Gave her treats. So what this does is this means now when the radio's tuned to 18 on the dial, the local oscillator generates a frequency of 18470. The 18470 and the 18 get mixed together and produce a 470 output that goes through the IF. There we are. Now, what about the front end of this radio? So it's actually tuned to 18. 18, a little hard to see, at least here, well, what I'm doing with the cameras I've got. Where am I going to point here? Here we are. 18 is somewhere, I can't even read it, somewhere over in this area. And I would hope we'd be able to see the front end tuning spot, but we cannot. So what we will do, we will revert to this meter here, which is showing nothing. Because why? Because I don't have the ground connected. So we'll connect on the ground here. This should show something. Whoop, this should show something. Well, we got to feed in a signal at 18 to see it, Jim. Right, we're missing the signal at 18. 18 megahertz. Okay, I turned off the signal generator here, but somehow I left it on the screen. Good reasons. Wrong signal generator there. this guy here. Okay, we need to set this signal generator to 18. And then we need the output to be on the antenna. What do I got on the antenna? What did I do here? Oh, I put on, okay, put on the wrong signal generator. That's what I did, for no good reason. Well, I was going to try sweeping it, but, oh, you know, I never did set up the sweep. Let's try that. Let's try the sweep. I'm so close. Let's do it. Sort of lost track of what I was up to. So we're back over to the signal generator here. 18. Oh, that was tricky because I was using a... let's get it sweeping. I was using a harmonic. So this is now sweeping the little IF. Wow, that's a long ways up to 18 megahertz. Can we get there? I'm just turning the output up. Well, we hear it, but we're probably sweeping through the IF, and that's why we're hearing it. So let's see, 18 divided by 3, that's 6. That's too high. Divided by 4, I can't divide it by 4. I gotta stop and figure this out here. We're going to use the sweep. Why would we even do that? Why would we even do that? Let's not do that. We don't need to do that. We got a view of the IF frequency, or the local oscillator frequency. Let's go with the single. Changing my mind here. This is the single frequency. Oh, funny how my hands work, eh? Gonna have a diagonal effect there. So we'll put this guy on. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to tune this to 18. And we should see something exciting. Now, why is the local oscillator doing that? Why is it going up and down like that? I saw this before. So, don't really know what to make of that action there. Somehow I doubt it's really going up. I'm looking at the SDR. I'm watching it, just especially the waterfall display. Yeah, don't know what that's caused by. Let's tune to 18 and we'll see what we hear coming out of the radio. I hope it's 18 we hear. Going to get much closer than that. Okay, doesn't sound very tuned in, does it? You have to keep an eye on that meter now, and I've got to verify that it's working right. So I'm going to change the input signal level here. Oh yeah, it's definitely working. Okay, we're going to tune the signal generator. Actually, tuning the radio might be better. We don't have to be dead on 18 to do this next part, just near. So we're going to... What I'm doing here is I'm tuning the radio. Wow, is that ever a hair trigger? I thought it'd be easier than the signal generator. That's a lesson right there. Okay. not sure I can get all this on camera at once, unfortunately. You'd have to go way in here. No, I can't. We don't need to see the local oscillator right now. Okay, well, what I'm doing. Well, you can see it. You can see what I'm doing. Almost see what I'm doing. I'm going in this hole. Now we're going to try to make that go maximum. Let me turn this down a bit. Four, three, two, one. Oh, you know what? I don't have this tuned to exactly 18. Look at the dial there. So they've done something funny with the dial. It's confused me. 18. 18 is actually here. Because if I count the marks starting at 18.5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I got the local oscillator in the wrong spot now. So now we're tuned to 18. Now look at how far this jumped. This guy should be back here. 18,470. Okay. Well, we know what to do about that. We're going to adjust the oscillator. Okay. Go, man. Wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Okay. Now we're set. Oscillator correct. 18. We want to max up the little meter here while doing the antenna adjustments. Okay, so now I'm heading into this hole here. Okay, watching the meter over here. There we are. Okay. Now I'm using an improper antenna model. Let's see if we can just change it a bit with this guy. So I've got a didn't do this correct. Let's see what happens if I do this correct. Does it change everything? I don't think it's going to change anything. So this little circuit I'm attaching is a antenna simulator. Now we'll try that antenna adjustment again and see if it's any different than it was. Oops. The screwdriver slides off and shorts out in there a little bit. Here we go. Down. No, didn't change it at all. There we are. That's it. My gosh, we've done it. Now, do we dare check how accurate this is? Why not? We'll give it one try here. We'll go with the other end. Let's try around 9. So tune in 9 megahertz. The question is it really 9? 9's way at the bottom here. I can't get there. Oh, son of a gun. We gotta go up the other way. Didn't read the dial right. Long ways to 9. Here we come. So it's a wee bit off here. Now if we just go down to 9. And then we'll tune the radio to find it. So that's how much off it is there. Yeah, how come look at that, I can be able to tune the radio and the dial's not moving. I thought I checked this very carefully before. Well, there's play in the dial. Okay, let me grab the dial and see. So there's not much play in the dial. And I don't think there's anything much I can do about that. Not at this point. There's usually a strong station right around here. Still a lumpy tuning. Is that him? I don't think so. No, we got to put a real antenna on it, or maybe it's not on the air right now. We're not getting it. Okay, that's pretty good for a radio like this. Certainly not perfect, but good show. Now we're on to the next band. Next band is rather immaterial. Here we go. Next band. This one, we're supposed to do the work at 7 megahertz. Getting pretty quiet up here. That's 7. Oh my gosh, cat, really? You just drive me nuts today. And it's coffee break time too. There's the local oscillator at about 7.3. We're tuned to 7. So the local oscillator should really be at where this red line is. And this is because I aligned the radio with the pointer off. That's what we're doing today, is correcting for that. Let's get the cat. I got an alarm going. There we go. Wrong way. There we go. And now we're going to give it a 7 megahertz signal. Oh, get this right. Wow, that's accurate. Okay, now watch this meter. Tune the radio so it's dead on. Okay. Now we'll take this here. Now we're going to stick the screwdriver into this hole here. Okay, watching the meter now, up, 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 so it's just a touch off because it was matching the old settings. There we are. That's all there is to that. Fantastic. Now, AM is left. The AM involved that extra capacitor, but I sort of overcame that by doing this technique here, so we're going to continue with it. We're going to try to get this done right now. Here we go. Broadcast. We start at the high end, 1600, and just do the stuff. We do the stuff. So we're starting at 1600, and that's roughly where I am. Let me get it exactly correct here. So if that's, so 15 is quite clear. 15, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there we are. I'm at 1600. The first little dot there. 1600. So we'll get this set up here. Okay, put this over here like this. 1600. So 1600 would require a local oscillator, 470 above it, 2070. 2070. So there's the local oscillator right there, but it really should be down about here, down where the red line is. So you move this guy down to here, and all these are all noise interferences. Gee, last night I was listening to doing an interesting experiment with two of those small loop antennas, trying to use them in tandem, in rather hand, there it is, tandem. Position them so you can get two of those loop antennas working together. And oh my gosh, I had really good results. Doing this with a big old military radio in Hammerland, which I have a meter connected so I can read I can do this. I can read this exact voltage. And so I was able to move the antennas around, watch the meter go up and down, and discover what you can do with two loop antennas. It's pretty interesting. But I then turned on the computer. I have a computer in the same room. I turned that on, and the amount of hash just pouring over this weak signal I've been listening to just blew it all, just wiped it all out. So yeah, we live in such a noisy environment. If you've got a computer running, you're done for AM radio. Okay, enough of that speeching. Let's move the local oscillator to where it needs to be. So this is the this one here is for the high frequency end. This is for the low frequency end, and that again is for the antenna adjustment over there. Okay, you can hardly see anything here. Now the radio is tuned to 1600, so I need the signal generator at 1600. So that's where it is at the moment. So we're going to put this to 1600. That's where the radio's tuning at the moment. That's what I mean by that. Okay, 1600. Very good. Now, you need to move the local oscillator and hear that tone again. And I don't know which way to turn it, but every time so far it's been counterclockwise. Okay. Now, you're watching the local oscillator going the wrong way. That's because I need this one to go the other way. Okay, bring it right on top of the red line. My screwdriver just cammed out. Okay, screwdriver in. Screwdriver out. Just a wee bit more. There we are. Now we can hear the signal generator at this point. So we're tuned to 1600, signal generator at 1600, local oscillator in its proper place, and we're hearing it. I'm going to tune the radio a little bit. Right on the money. Okay, now there's a big noise there. So you see the meter, it's actually off scale over here. Maybe more reflective of the noise than the signal. So I'm gonna jack up the signal strength here. Not enough to do it. There. Oh my gosh, Cat! I just don't know what it is you want. With Peanut, I can figure out exactly what he wants because I've learned his language, but I don't speak Black Cat very well. Now we're gonna adjust this and try to pick up the meter. Tuning the radio for maximum meter reading. there. Going in. Watching the meter now. Down. Up. Oh, Peanut. Shadow, really? You know what I'm going to throw you in the garage. What if I did that? Would that make you happy? Make me happy. Okay. I'm going to go throw the cat in the garage. I'll be in 1 minute. Come on, cat. You're going in the garage. Okay, I feel kind of bad about that, but that's her tough luck. Okay, now, so what did we do? So we've changed the local oscillator. I corrected the antenna. Now we got to go to the other end for accuracy. So we'll go to the other end, 600. Actually, it's more important down here. Okay, we're on 600. How close is it? It's an exciting part here. 600. Pretty close, pretty weak, though, eh? So we now put this right on 600. Yeah, it's quite weak reception. Maybe just volume. Volume control solves everything. Okay, so now what we want to do is, well, that's 600. We want to adjust the local oscillator for maximum reading on the meter using this different capacitor here. Okay, watching now. Oh, it's hard to turn. Wow. Well, big difference, but not much turning actually. With that done, I'm going to go back to the other end. See how we did it. So that double 600, that's not quite 1200, is it? $15.50, 60, 70, 80, 90, yeah, 1600. Okay, sounds funny because there's another signal there, it's interfering with it. But that's good. That's very good. That's done. Oh my gosh, I've actually finished it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this radio's tuned up quite nicely. Even remembered to do it with the bottom plate on. So that's going to be it for today. And I'm just going to... weird looking screen there. Say farewell for today. I've got to do grocery shopping and all kinds of other normal life stuff. None of this fun stuff here. So, okay. Well, thanks a lot for watching the series. And I don't have the cabinet, so that's it for this radio. Unless I, for some reason, decide to listen to shortwave with it, which I doubt, because you see that radio down the hall there, that beautiful radio. That's the one I did just before this one. And it's back in its cabinet there, just about finished, except I didn't put the bottom plate on. I forgot to put on the bottom plate, so we have to go through that whole bottom plate process. It means the radio's got to come out of the cabinet, get back on my bench. But that's par for the course here, I think. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. See ya.